Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It is a Tuesday, and I think some of the things that we end up learning about ourselves through our association with sports, I think there's always the opportunity to get like wisdom, see the mistakes that are out here in the public so that we don't make those same mistakes in our own personal lives or in our own public lives. And with that, I go to the Scott Frost situation at Nebraska. Now, don't forget that Scott Frost was successful, and successful to the level that many never thought that Central Florida could ever be. He was a successful coach. His success was so much that it continued even after he was gone. Like, that's how you know a coach really had a lot of success at a program, is when they leave. Is the next person able to ride that wave? I forget who's the first coach that really got it popping at Appalachian State, but every coach that's come through Appalachian State since, they've rode the wave of the program that original coach built. And so you have to give Scott Frost a lot of kudos. Scott Frost then goes to Nebraska and has a marginal success. Now, a lot of people will say, well, he failed. And my thing is, well, you can say he failed, but who succeeded before him, right? You can say that Scott Frost failed at Nebraska, but before him, you got to go back to Frank Solich at Nebraska in order to find someone who supposedly succeeded. So how much did he really fail, or how much of this is just who Nebraska is now? A middle-of-the-road football team that's going to have some bowl-eligible years and not have some bowl-eligible years, that are going to have some big wins over teams that they maybe should not beat, and then they're going to have times where they lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to, like Georgia Southern. Like, that's going to happen. That's the type of program. But I don't really particularly even care that they fired this man. Like, in the end, he had enough time to implement his system and do things the way that he wanted to do it and see the fruits of that labor, and there were no fruits. So I'm not mad at the firing. I'm mad at the timing, right? I'm mad at the timing because if you were going to fire Scott Frost 2 games into a season or 3 games into a season, then don't bring him back at all. Why bring him back knowing, hey, if he has a couple embarrassing losses or if he has an embarrassing loss, we're pulling the plug on him right now? Why do that? Like, why fire him 3 games into the season? So it got me into my brain. I started thinking about why you would fire a coach in the middle of a season, period. And the only reason I can think of firing a coach in the middle of the season is scandal, like a legitimate firing. Every other reason, to me, has angles to it. Every other reason has angles to it. If you fire a coach in the middle of the season or while the season's going on, there should be scandal. There were some rules broken that should not have been broken. That was a straw that broke the camel's back. They did something that is worthy of an immediate firing. That's it. It's the only time you should ever fire somebody in the middle of the season, let alone 3 games into a season. So then I go back to the brain again, right? And my brain tells me or looks and says, well, why would you fire him or anybody in the middle of a season or 3 games into the season? Number one for me is always lack of respect. It's always lack of respect. Because if you respect somebody, then you allow them to go out on their shield, right? Because here's where my conversation with Scott Frost would have been. Hey, Scott, it's an ugly loss. I think we're going to have to make a change. I respect you. And I want you to be able to finish this thing out. But at the end of the season, we're making a change. So it's up to you whether you want to go public with that, whether you want to resign. But at the end of this season, when this season is over, we're going to make a change. If it's me and I'm you, I'm going to go out there and try to put up, 8 wins and have us go 8-3. And now have people wonder if it's really the right thing for you to move on. But I'm telling you, regardless of what happens the rest of this season, we are moving on. Now I've put the ball in his corner. Are you really about what you say you're about? Do you really want to stay in these trenches, take these bullets, take these arrows? We know what the status is going to be. You're out of here. Can you still motivate these kids to play hard and to give their best and to do what's necessary to continue to move the program forward? That's the conversation that I would have had with Scott Frost. Instead, Trev Alberts, a guy who, after playing football, went into broadcasting, then went to the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and got rid of the football program as his first athletic director job, a football guy. Couldn't find a way to make football work at his school because he wanted his school to go to the Summit League, which is a basketball league. So he went into there and cut the football and the wrestling program in order to get into the Summit League. A football guy, a guy who cares about football, got rid of a football program? Make it make sense. And then, not to be outdone, only a few years on the job from the University of Nebraska, Omaha, he was able to flip that into the University of Nebraska. You hired an athletic director with little to no athletic director experience to oversee one of the most storied athletic programs in all the country. Then he got on the job, and less than he goes to a coach. By the way, Trev Alberts, he's a Nebraska alumni, a storied player at Nebraska. So is Scott Frost. So he goes to a fellow alumni of a school, and after 3 games says, you're relieved of your duties. Now, again, my brain starts working. Oh, did he do him a solid? Because if you fire a guy, they have to get paid, right? If you fire him, he has to get broken off. So did he do his guy a solid? Hey, man, I'll fire you. You're going to get this. You can go out and try to find you another job. We're going to get the ball rolling on a new head coach soon, early. Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. But that's shiesty too. Because that's not fair to these players. Because who's going to coach the rest of the season? All of those other coaches. It's not like they're going to bring a guy in from outside and let him coach so that all these other coaches can get paid for free, can get paid for doing nothing. They have to stay in the trenches. They have to keep working. They have to keep trying to find ways to get wins, only for you to go out and hire another coach who's probably going to fire them all. Right? Man, I'm telling you, I know Trev Alberts is only 1 year on the job, but I would have cleaned the entire face off. Hey, I don't like none of this. This is horrible decision making. You shouldn't have brought Frost back if you thought you were going to fire him in the middle of the season. No one should ever make snap judgments about losing. We've already talked about how the transfer portal has changed things. Did Scott Frost deserve to lose his job? Probably. Did he deserve to lose it 3 games into a season? No. What if Nebraska wins 7 games? What if Nebraska goes on to win 7 games? It's not like it's not impossible. They play in the Big Ten. The Big Ten ain't walking around with a whole bunch of killers. They walking around with a bunch of teams with inept offenses that play good defense. All they need is for somebody to slip up 1 week and have that be the Nebraska week. And it's different. It's different. If they're bowl eligible, like, yes, get rid of him, but give him the opportunity to go out on his own. I just thought it was Bush League. And for a Nebraska man to do that to another Nebraska man and the claim that, well, we're just trying to protect the brand. That's why we had to get rid of him now. We're trying to protect the brand. So you're trying to protect the brand. That's why you fired a Nebraska guy 3 games into the season because you were trying to protect the brand. That's an awful look. What elite level coach wants this job? I don't care how much money you throw at him. You're not going to get an elite level coach. You're going to have to go after one of these coaches from a group of 5. One of these coaches maybe from a high-powered FCS. No elite level coach is taking this job unless they have baggage. Unless they have baggage. Maybe you can convince an Urban Meyer to come and take that job. Maybe you can convince a John Gruden to come and take that job. But then how are you protecting your brand? How are you protecting the brand? That's what you need to ask yourself. Who are you going to hire that says, ooh, Nebraska football's back? Because Nebraska football is triple option. Maybe you want to go there. I want to give a quick shout out before I get out of here to Geno Smith. Everybody wrote him off. Never really got a legitimate opportunity to grow as a quarterback in the NFL, as so many people of his hue. Never got the opportunity to fail fully like other quarterbacks get, and was essentially made a mockery of because he got into a scuffle with another player and had his jaw broken. And he was made a mockery of. People tried to say he couldn't throw, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Even though none of the record supported that. None of it. So I was happy to see him stare down the face of a really good defense with 2 rookie tackles outside of him. With 2 rookie tackles outside of him, stare down the teeth of a really good defense. And across the other way is the guy he replaced in Russell Wilson. in the belly of the beast and come out with the win. Now, what do I know about Seattle? Are they going to be like fantastic this year? I have no idea. But man, I was happy for Geno. I was happy for Jameis Winston. Goes out there. It's a rough first half. They're giving quarterback run plays to the other guy. Second half comes, he gets it clicking. Dime, 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 touchdown. Dime, 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 touchdown. No interceptions. One where it probably should have been. But nobody ever talks about that with the other quarterbacks when that happens, right? So we don't have to talk about what didn't happen. No interceptions. Brings his team back. 1-0 New Orleans. Lamar Jackson. Oh, he made a horrible decision. He should have hired an agent. He should have did this. He should have did that. Hey, listen, I'm just going to go out there and ball. That's what he did. Couple touchdowns. Team winning. Throwing dimes. Deep ball dimes. No Hollywood Brown. No problem. Give me whoever the other Oompa Loompa wide receiver you're going to give me to throw to amongst all of these other teams with these 6'1" and 6'2" killers out here running around. Lamar getting it done. Guess what happens when Lamar gets out of this season? Baltimore franchises him. Guess how much money that's going to be for? $48 million. That's one season, ladies and gentlemen. You don't think that Lamar Jackson's okay running that Dak Prescott playbook? You don't think Lamar Jackson's okay running that playbook of your boy up in Minnesota? Like, there's a system to this, right? If you don't want to give me guaranteed money, then I will do things that set me up for automatic guaranteed money. Hey, you don't want to give me $250 million guaranteed? I'll play 3 franchise years. Franchise me for this year. Franchise me for next year. I'll make over $100 million in two seasons. Or release me, or let me go. Don't re-sign me, and I'll go and sign for somebody else that's willing to pay me this money. Because I guarantee you, there's somebody out there waiting to pay Lamar Jackson that much money. Y'all keep acting like this man can't throw the ball. Y'all keep acting like he's only valuable in Baltimore. Keep making yourselves believe that he's only valuable in Baltimore. And watch what happens when he gets on the open market. It's a staring contest. And Lamar Jackson has made the first move. Good luck to the Baltimore Ravens, because it's going to cost them more now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. You do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, peace.